Hello class. So today what we're going to do, we're going to talk about unions and intersections in our set theory unit. So just a few terms that we need to know. So universal set, that is just the set that is all of the possibilities for what we're talking about for that specific problem. So this is just all the possibilities. So it's usually going to be, and it's going to kind of be confusing with union, but it's usually going to use the letter U, like a couple of uppercase letter U, and then it has this, and then our little fancy bracket for the, and it'll have like A, B, or whatever. So if it says union, that's going to mean all the possibilities. Intersection is given with this symbol, and that just means it's and. So whenever we're talking about a set that has an intersection, that means that it has to have it in both sets, or however many sets we're using, if it's across three. That element has to be in all of those sets. And then union is going to be kind of like an uppercase U, and that's going to be an or. So that can be in the one set or the other set. It can be in both, and then we're going to list everything that's in both sets. And then the complement, you're going to see this a lot of times. So let's say that A is our set. It's going to have a little apostrophe right there, and that just means that it is the opposite. So this is where the universal set will come into play. Like if I have a complement of this, that just means it's everything that's not in set A, but it is still in the universal set. So let's do a few examples. All right, so we've got our universal set is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so fairly simple set. A is going to represent the numbers 1, 2, and 3, and then B is going to represent the number 5. So if I want to talk about here, example number 1, we've got A complement, so that means we're doing the opposite of A. A is the numbers 1, 2, and 3, so it's everything that's not 1, 2, and 3, but is in our universal set. So the way that we would write that is we would do our bracket, and it's going to be just 4 and 5. So that is A complement. So that is what's in the universal set, but not in A. Same thing with B, it's everything that's not B, but is in the universal set. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it is basically just not 5. 5 is here, so it's everything in the universal set that's not 5. All right, next one is union. So we're doing A union B. So that is everything that is in A or it's in B. So whenever we do that, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, or it could be 5. And so we kind of just put them all together in one set. And all of our sets are going to be enclosed in these brackets that we've been using. All right, so now we've got A complement, union B complement. So what that's going to do is take the union means it could be an either or, and we've actually already gotten these two. So I know that A complement is 4 and 5, and I know that B complement is 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So the way that we write this is that A complement is 4 and 5. I'm going to write it in numerical order, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it's all of our universal set because it could be not A or not B. Then we've got the intersection. Intersection is and. That means it's got to be in both the first set and the second set. So if I'm looking here, A is 1, 2, and 3. B is 5. There's nothing in common there. So the way that we write this, you can write this as an empty bracket. So that was a bad one. All right, so you can write it like that, so that's called the empty set, or you can write it like this, a circle with a line through it. Either one of these both mean the same thing, and you can use either one interchangeably. So those are those. We've got 3 more examples. I'll move through those kind of quickly. All right, so we've got A complement, union B complement. So didn't we just do that one? I meant to do intersection there. Oh well, okay. So we've got intersection, so that means that it's what's not in A. So remember that was 4 and 5. And then not in B, which was 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm looking at for the intersection now, so it's what's in common in both of these. And so that's going to be 4, because there's a 4 in both of those. So whenever you see that intersection, that means and. All right, so here we've got a complement. So that means it's not in A, so remember that means that's 4 or 5. I'm going to put brackets around these, I'll feel better. Or at least pretend those look like good brackets. And then B is 5. So our intersection is both of those combined. So it's what's in both of them, and that's going to be 5. So that is our set there. And then last one, we've got A or not B. So we know that A is 1, 2, and 3. Not B is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to write both of them. But what we don't want to do is list out 2 of them. So anytime you've got an or and there's stuff in common, you don't have to list out 1, 1, 2, 2. You just list it once. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, and so those are just examples of how we do sets with union and intersection and complements.